Okay, so now we can start. So welcome to everybody. I think we are 27 at the moment. There are from all Europe people. So it's really interesting. I'm excited to starting this presentation. It's nearly 1 year, more or less it's 1 year we are working to arrive at this point. So it's really important for us. Okay, now I will start to, sorry, I will start to present the website. This is the beginning. After we will just have a brief introduction and present the main partner of the direct partner of the project. And after this, just we have a little talk about the main organization, and we will leave you for questions. So I just start with the website so you can understand. The website it's www.Hi.Co.Ma. I will write in .eu. I'm very bad at spelling, so I will just write in our chat. That's here. Here's the chat. Too many windows. Okay, that's it. And so I will present the website now. So window here. Okay. So this is our logo. This is a long history. This logo, it's a long travel between narratives of all the partners, of the ideas that converge in this project. So we will, in the course, we will make the first narrative about the logo, but not now. It's quite long. So the first point, the first page is about the project. This is, sorry, a moment, I have a distraction. Okay. We have to understand because all these, all the things that will happen in this long journey will be on the website. So at the beginning, it's just the presentation, our main vision that we want to create a new way to manage it. It's not new, just to interact, to intersect all the community managers that are already working in the areas to make them more capable to interact, to understand, and how sharing knowledge between them, because sharing knowledge between the people it's working on the and the update. The idea it's tight, this connection, it's because sometimes who is working like us in highland areas and in the internal rural areas feels a bit alone, no, but a lot of experience going together. So another idea important, it's rising awareness. What are how involve the community, how it's important to dialogue between all the stakeholders, because not everybody knows or understand that it's complex to work in rural areas. It's the same working in urban areas, but in rural areas, it's easier to show the different forces. In the town is quite complicated. Okay, but anyway, all the people it's working in this project are is working in rural areas. So who are the people we want to connect? Okay, professional, anthropologists, because a lot of us are anthropologists, but geographers, environmental engineers, but we want to the NGOs, the civil society, the citizens, the policymakers, to connect the enterprise, the companies who is making their business, because in rural areas and in mountain areas, there are things that we can do. It's not easy, how I said, but it's possible. And the pillars of Europe at the moment are research, policymakers and decisors, civil society, third sectors, and company enterprise. So we want all these people together. We arrived at this point after long research, because we were working on the field, speaking with the people that was connecting with us, interviews, making workshops to understand which are the needs that the main needs of three different nations, because we are working between Spain, Italy, and Romania. Okay, so this was it's not easy because there are different needs. So here we have the partners, the strategic partnership. We have the main partners, the direct partners that I will present after. Now the four main partners. We have to say thank you to the main partners. That is CREA 360. Here it's represented by Alberto Lorente Sainz.
Hello.
And to Sepoate, that is our vet partner, so the partner in charge to the training actions. We have to explain that this is a vet project into the Erasmus Plus program. So does it mean that it's directed to train professional people that is already as is on works, and will add something, and we consider that citizens are professional in their life, in their places, so they are really important in this process. After this part, there are a lot of institutional partners like ANCI Toscana, that's the organization of Tuscany municipalities. We have the Comune of Sovramonte, that's a municipality on the northern Italy, the Ayuntament de Beniarres, e la Comuna de Lipanesti. Sorry for the pronunciation. Mancomunidad de Xarpolar is another partner we have. So what we tell this afternoon, is just the beginning of our long path that we tracked in front of us. So we start with this, but we want to build a collaborative transnational community. So the idea is all the people that will participate as experts, as network partner, as main partner, as students, will create this community. This community that will go on in the future with other ideas, other projects, and help to works. So I already introduced the partner very briefly. CREA 360 have said. I forgot two parts. The Italian partners, that's CREA, Centro Ricerche Etnoantropologiche, APS, that it's a no-profit organization specialized in applied research. His official headquarters are in Florence and Lucca and in Venice. And in 2030, social innovation designers, that here is represented by Francesca Grisot, and his headquarters are in Venice. So I will invite Alberto to speak, if he can just speak a bit about his experience, about the journey of Crea 360, and share how your personal success as local development professional has been shaped now by the European funds, because 360 has a very peculiar history. Thank you, Alberto.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Fabio. And well, thank you very much, everybody, to be here on this important online webinar for us in Hi.Co.Ma project. Well, me representing CREA 360, the lead partner of the project, I would like to, well, I can say that this company, CREA 360, is a small company that was founded in the rural area of the province of Alicante in Spain, in Comunidad Valenciana. It born from the, let's say, motivation of four young entrepreneurs who came back home after university in order to bring, give feedback to the territory that make them grow after university. All of us studied different degrees in terms of geography, engineering, business management, sustainable development, and so on. And all of us wanted to, let's say, offer specialist services to the small municipalities of the area. And during more than now, we can say 12 years, we are working on supporting small municipalities on local development and territorial innovation. We implemented in the area hundreds of projects. I can say that every year we implement dozens of projects, local, regional, and European projects in the area. And let's say we support them in many services, because at the end the small rural areas, they don't count on critical mass, but also they don't count on specific technicians that let's say can work in the daily work of one municipality. Of course, they have some secretary, administrative officers, and of course, they count on very motivated and very responsible politicians who invest part of their life in their towns without receiving many times any salary, just because they want to be volunteers to support the towns. But as you can also uh, understand, these small villages need also a specialized support, and this is what we do also with for us. We also count on the support many times of the provincial government, regional government, and other kind of European also funds in order to support them in the strategic planning, I don't know, consultancy, advisory, and many other kind of technical projects. Just to finalize, I can say that after 12 years, the company also growth, and we don't just work only with these small villages. Of course, we work also in other areas. We are also proud to work also with big cities and regional governments who also look at us and search for us when they need some support in European projects and other kind of specific services. And well, we are very proud also to be here and in this Erasmus Plus project, because for us we understood that cooperation and collaboration between entities is the best way for learning and for developing new ideas and new solutions for the common problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alberto. I will ask to Adrian to present Sepoate, and they are our, as already said, our BET partner, and they are a peculiar specialization, one of the main problems we have in rural areas. So, Adrian, please
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Malfatti. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and I would like to take a moment to apologize for my environment right now. I just got off from work, and I found the nearest hotel lobby in which I had a bit privacy. But I would love to present the association Asociația Se Poate. My name is Adrian Olteanu. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am a computer science student, and I will be speaking a bit more also about the digitalization also in rural areas, as Mr. Malfatti was mentioning. A bit of some words about the association. Asociația Se Poate is a Romanian non-profit organization that I've been proudly volunteering with for the past years. Se Poate was born in 2014 out of a very simple idea that change is possible when young people are supported, connected, and empowered. The name itself, Se Poate, which means it's possible. And this attitude runs through everything that the organization does. We are based in Bucharest, but have a strong presence in rural areas like Lipanești, as Mr. Malfatti was mentioning, where we carry out many of our projects. Our mission is to help young people develop personally and professionally through national and international experiences, projects that open minds, build confidence, and connect people from across Europe. At the heart of Se Poate is the belief that the youth are not just the future, they're also the present. We focus on non-formal education, personal development, civic engagement, and sustainability. Through Erasmus Plus projects, for example, intercultural exchanges, environmental actions, and digital empowerment, as we will talk about, we give young people the tools and space they need to grow and lead changes in their own communities. Maybe a quick word about one of, in my opinion, the most exciting projects that I've been introduced to with Se Poate is the youth space in Lipanești, which is a rural community center which was launched last year in 2024. It includes various educational resources for people, for young adolescents who don't necessarily have the resources to access them. It also includes a game room, a study and a library room even, and even a vlogging and media room for people that are interested in more digital stuff. It's a place where the rural youth, who often lack access to resources, can gather, learn, and dream big. Why not? Everything we do is built around two key principles: development and togetherness. So connection, basically. Whether it's empowering youth, protecting the environment, or promoting equality, we believe that the best results come when we learn to grow together. And as a volunteer, I've had the chance to travel, learn from our cultures, from other cultures, speak on panels, and contribute ideas around digitalizations and remote work, especially how they can be adapted for rural communities like the one I come from. I will briefly mention that when we get to the digitalization part, because it's a project that I deeply believe in, because I come from a rural area myself. And I know a lot of ideas that could have changed the way I was brought up and exposed to education and other resources. So if I could summarize Se Poate, our association, in one phrase, it would probably be: we believe in young people and we believe in action. So thank you very much for the word, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or share more about what we do.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we should go on with the presentations. We have, I don't know if Francesca Grisot can speak in this moment, because I know it's in a critical moment. So if she can, I call her to speak about A2030. Thank you very much, Francesca.
Hi all, thank you, and wonderful. Thank you also, Alberto and Adrian, for the wonderful introduction. So our association is based in Venice, and we work mostly on social impact. We are social innovation designers, and we cooperate with young people for sure, but mostly migrants. And on the topic of development of the rural area, we work in a very close rural area close to Venice, because part of us are based there, and we have also a lot of strong network of partner and best practices. We will help to join to this project, even if an European project for the rural area is so far. So it will be a real pleasure to support them to join us, and we strongly believe that the Hi.Co.Ma is the first step. So we see the Hi.Co.Ma like just a start, a kickoff of a new generation of Highlands community managers, and managing participation in rural area is the key and the basis for the strategy of development. So I'm very glad to be with the partners, CREA and CREA 360 and Sepuate, because I strongly love them, and I'm very motivated to work with them. So thank you all, and join the course, because we really developed a very interesting program.
Thank you very much, Francesca. So at least, not at last but not least, no, it's not working in English, sorry. And it's CREA, Centro Ricerche Etnoantropological Research Center. We born 22 years ago in 2002, and was founded by anthropologists. But now we are not only anthropologists, because we know that the development, the future, everything we do needs a transdisciplinary meeting, encounter between different disciplines. We can call inter or trans, depends, but it's not a problem about this. Right? We need to work between different point of view, and the point of view of citizens, of proprietaries, of companies. It's very important. We are organized in 5 departments. We have a department of sustainability, that's I am the director, the strategic partnership, the global awareness that include all the education and intercultural education and the inclusion of different categories of people. The heritage is another department, because for us it's very important to fund the future on the past. What we have behind our shoulder will determine what will be the future and impact business, because we know that in the future and from now and in the past, we need to a strong commitment agreement between companies, enterprise, that the ones that are interested in regenerative economy, in circular economy, and develop the areas, and without, we call multidimensional impact lowering. So have low impact on culture, on society, on people that are working. So this is CREA. In this project will as worked only all the research based, and will develop the material, the handbook, all the material for the course. So at the moment, I think we can just pass the word to Sandra Bustamante, because she's one of the experts that will participate.
Yes, actually, she's the representative here today of our experts, and so we wanted at least one representative, because we are 4 organizations very specialized in the rural development and the territorial development and youth engagement, but we also developed through the past year a network of experts, and so Sandra is one wonderful example of the expert we involved, and thank you very much, Sandra, to give your your point of view of on the contribution that the experts could give, and basically the contribution of the expert will be just their experience, because now we are training young and new professionals, and the experience of someone that from 30 years is working on the field and experienced so much as you did is extremely important, and also to motivate and to be like a model, and to show the path for the new professionals.
Thank you very much, and hello everyone. Thank you particularly to Francesca and Fabio. I am delighted to be part in this inspired journey through the Hi.Co.Ma course. I think that when we talk about sustainable and regenerative development in mountain and inner areas, rural areas, we must start with one essential principle, that is that no one does it alone. Real change happens when communities come together, when different voices, when different experiences, when different perspectives are included in the conversation. And I think that this is our goal as experts, to help with the participative processes from our experience, and because these processes are more than public consultation or formal meetings. They are about creating meaningful spaces where citizens, local authorities, civil society, knowledge holders, teachers, youth, elders, and particularly women can engage, can co-create, and share ownership of the future of their territories. As Francesca and Fabio know, I had worked more than 30 years, particularly with women in rural areas. So I think that when we explore sustainable and regenerative development in Highlands, we have to think also in inclusive participation. And to be truly inclusive, we must go beyond broad categories and pay attention to who is heard, who is silenced, and who holds power in decision-making processes. And I think that women, particularly in rural areas, have long been central to the life and to the sustainability of these territories, because they are caretakers of land, of culture, and of community. So I think that sometimes their work, their labor go unrecognized, so undervaluated. So we have to put an eyes on this. A truly participatory and multi-stakeholder process cannot happen unless we actively challenge unequal power dynamics. And I think, really think, I am completely convinced that creative spaces where diverse women voices and priorities are visible and valued is very important, and that courses like this are the road to do it. Thank you so much. I am open to questions.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Okay, I think now it's the moment to say, okay, but this course, how will be? Because I think this is the question that now it's on all the people that's here participating. So first, we will have 5 online key lessons. The 5 key lessons are 5 principal thematics that were isolated, that emerged from our research. And there will be community leadership, the first one, stakeholder engagement. The second key lesson is entrepreneurial and economic development. The third one, digital competence and remote work. The fourth, environmental sustainability and climate resilience. And the last one, the youth engagement and social inclusion. And as transversal thematics, there will be project management and funding, because these are 2 two important elements that needs to be for development, and heritage. Heritage is at the base. It's like the fundamental of all the project, the process we are working. So these are the main key lesson, one each month, starting from 31 of May, poi June, July, August, okay, holiday time, September, and October. For obtain the certificate of Highland Community Manager, you need to participate at least in 3 webinars. But it's not, everything is not here. In the weeks between the main key lesson, the mandatory webinar, we can say, there will be thematic meetings. For example, we planned the way to the lesson of 31 of May about the community leadership and stakeholder engagement, 2 roundtable of conflict prevention. That is something that emerge in all the interview and all the workshop and the focal focus group. Conflict prevention, resolution, multi-stakeholder environments, because we are working in very complex areas with a lot of it. And the 22 of May, tools and strategies for effective participation and conflict management. This is the second thematics that it's in my heart, because once I heard after 1 year of working in participative processes, I listened a person that said, "Oh, finally we have participation," because there were a huge fight during the meeting because the technical staff hasn't taken in account all the participative process of the people. So the people was really, really angry. And they said, okay, now the word participation. So it's not everybody give the same significance to the same words. Okay, we are anthropologists, so sorry for this, but it's really important. And there are, for each thematics, I will send the program, the exact program, to everybody up. So please go and say to who you think it's interested, could be interested to participate, to inscribe on the website, and all the material, all the meetings, there will be in 4 languages. We will use automatic subtitle, but okay, more or less they work. They don't know what, it's not great, but more or less they work. The main documents there will be translated, and everything will be this on the platform, on the website, so everybody could access. And it's open to auditors, because all the video, all the documents are open to everybody, so it's not a problem. But it's better if you inscribe, because you have some more access, so you can participate directly in the webinar. The webinar, I said, during the key lesson, between one and the other key lesson, are not mandatory. So if you are interested, you will participate. If not. And we, okay, I think
yes, the sense is when we thought the project and we structured the project, we understood that the experts and the chapters, 5 main chapters, were absolutely necessary, but also a training, a comfortable place to discuss. To merge ideas and new perspectives, and also to develop and listen to new cases and case studies. And so we thought that have an appointment, not compulsory, but just an appointment, a place to go, like a chat cafe, and it will be like the chat cafe once a week. Could be an opportunity to develop more engagement and networking, skill sharing, so to share our knowledge and to be together and to become really an European community, because we just want to start. I say that this is a kickoff of a long-term project, and doesn't matter if it is founded just for 1 or 2 years, but when we meet and we start working together and sharing our knowledge and context, we can really develop our territories cooperating in a transnational network. So we just needed a place to be all together and to exchange practices, and so we invited like tutors, small, medium experts to share again experience, but also to chat all together. So it's more open, not formal lesson, but it's like more like a chat cafe with someone interesting to meet. And this is the philosophy of the weekly appointment.
Okay, now we are ready for questions. Open your mic and ask.
And there is a form to become a student. So there is a form on the website. It's very easy to find. So just take the URL of the website and explore it, and you will find everything. And also the website, we developed the website, we thought the website like a repository. So we will upload the experiences, testimonials, and also case studies, to be there, to be open access, as Fabio said before, in the totally European style and philosophy. Also, we created a WhatsApp group. So if you have not questions now, maybe you can share, Fabio, the QR code of the WhatsApp group, and then send an email to each one. But now if you just share your screen and open the WhatsApp web, you can just click add and show the link. And if you want, you can join the WhatsApp group. It is always our goal is always to create a network. And Nikki, ciao Nikki, hi
Ciao,
from
Francesca.
Spain. Do you want to ask something, to add something? Because also Nikki is an expert joining in our kickoff webinar, and we didn't please her to speak, but we are very happy to see her with us. And so if you want to join Sandra as an expert and say something, you're most welcome.
I think I really just had a question. Basically, how do you envisage bringing the experts on board? Is it drawing in their, skills to actually work with communities, or is it more in terms of capacity development for the Highland managers?
Before we created a needs analysis. So we had focus group interviews with communities for about 1 year, and focus on 6 months of strong work of Fabio and the research center. When we understood what they need, it means communities and the major of the small cities in the Highlands, the rural areas, we scouted experts in our network. So it is about also experience, also network. We just were looking for personalities and expertise that can add something to this community. So the expert is expert for experience, but in your case of Sandra and you are really expert from every point of view. But we also have young experts, for example, for digitalization of rural areas. Maybe they have 30 years at all, and not over experience, but they are 30 years old, but they are computer scientists, fantastic computer scientists. So what knowledge we need to develop rural areas? This was the question. And so we selected in our network experts to contribute to the common knowledge we should develop in an inter and trans multidisciplinary approach. Yes, multidisciplinary approach that we need to develop rural.
Okay, thanks for that, Francesca.
Well,
Okay,
I would like to say, can I or Fabio?
Alberto.
Yes, okay. No, I would like to say that in the case of Spanish experts, for example, when we did this research and this selection of experts, some of them excused that they can't participate this afternoon. They were not able to participate this afternoon, but they are very much interested on the network that we are creating and how this network will be, let's say, a very strong tool for connecting researchers and practitioners from different parts of Europe, and they are really very much motivated. Even if okay, I would like to excuse the Spanish part or the, let's say, the expert that I involved, because they were not available for this online webinar. But for example, we count on people from University of Alicante, that is the main university in my area, but also as Francesca said, we count also on some entrepreneurs, managers of associations, and other specialists in the field of, or in fields that could be linked to mountain areas development.
Yes, well, I saw about the closed caption, the subtitle in multi-language. That's, but maybe somebody that entered after I said this could be missed. So we are trying to make everything more give access to everybody. So we are experimenting this automatic translation multi-language, so you can just click at the end of the windows. There are CC closed captions, subtitles, um, uh, figure icons, and there you can choose your language, the spoken language and your subtitle language. This is one we hope we can overcome the big problem of Europe that we have few language shared, really few ones, and but we have to learn how to live in this difference. So we will try to. Here there is the QR code. Into the chat you have the link of the WhatsApp chat. If you have entered your name somewhere in the newsletter, into the inscription of students of in the form of this webinar, it will be great because you will be connected with us. Anyway, there is a website, so where you can follow us in LinkedIn, in Facebook. We are opening Instagram. Somebody asked for TikTok, and we are working on. Now I share the QR code. Who wants can yeah, sharing. I lose the window. Sorry to be echo. Here is it. Okay, window this one. Okay, so you can enter in the chat with this QR code, and or just click on our chat, the Zoom chat where there is a link. I'm just I'm just talking, waiting for somebody make question or comments or desire to. What did you decide to? What do you expect from this course?
If nobody is asking any question, maybe I would like to address one if I were to put myself in the shoes of a person following the course. I would ask, how could someone get the most out of the course? How should they follow the course? What steps should they take? How should they make use of the resources in the best way possible, in your opinion?
Okay, this is really a good question, and the clever one. How is the best uh, participation? So the best participation will be stay in the webinars, the weekly webinars, listening to them. If you cannot say there, just listening to the webinars when you are on the metro, on the car, walking in the streets, just to have an idea of all the thematics we will engage with and asking questions. We will organize to a communication between the participants, and we will making the net weaver, no, that people that it's like fisherman after the day that he was out with the nets in the sea, down to close all the to connect the knots, no, connect experts with students, experts between themselves, like try to make connection about what you need and what you think it's useful for you, starting from something that you can touch. No, we don't want, and all the center of our work will be key studies, examples, good practices, failures, big failures, all things that will constitute a toolbox of screwdrivers and other tools that are needed for everyday work of the community manager or the professional working. So that will be the best. And if there is something, some thematics that somebody wants, need to be, and look, I'd like to uh, speak about this or listen about this. We can just be the mediator in the network. Maybe there are experts that want. We can put our platform, our system for the other, and they can just build their own webinars. Not too much, but someone we can afford to do. So just this is the idea to follow, but we know that everybody has his work, his things to do. So we try to give to be more on demand as we can. Okay,
Perfect. That's wonderful. Thank you.
thanks, Francesca. Francesca. Okay, and if somebody has ideas to how to improve the communication, it's welcome. There are a lot of instruments in the EU that we can use, and we can go in deep to in the EU website, digital side. And Adrian, that's specialized in the digital. This will be because the point of the third webinar about digital instruments and remote working. No? To about the new way to populate the villages because it's changing. I don't know exactly in the other villages in Romania and in Spain, but for what we heard, it's more or less the same. There are a lot of people arriving in the place, and after a few years, going away in another place, maybe coming back in 2 years. The point is keep them connected with the village. When they are in distance, keep the network, because now the residentiality is not born in a place and died in the same place, but is being connected from distance to the same place, when you like to be. And this is something new that we have to manage. And for example, one of the partners is the Italian Association of Digital Nomads, and they develop different experience. He studies in Pontremoli, for example, where they organize all a, a system to include very fast people into the community and keep them connected when they leave the place. And also, uh, we have to change everything, or better, everything is changed. We have to just understand how to manage it. Simply, somebody together. The collective intelligence is a great thing.
If I may, one more. There was a question in the chat that seems to be a bit ignored. If people signed the student form on the website, are they immediately considered as a student of the program?
Another very good question. We have a limit, okay, that we are constantly changing with Anna Maria. So you scribe. If we go over the hundreds, we will see what we can do. Okay. At the moment, we said we will take up to 100 people because the limits that we have for our meetings, but we will think about. Okay, at the moment, so don't please sign, take your place, and anyway, and the weekly webinar are open. Okay, so they are not reserved for students, so, like they are principally for students and for the others. Okay.
Well, 2 minutes left, just to say thank you and goodbye. And if someone has a question or something to add, please, in the last minutes, we can add. So, Fabio, just we can close the meeting and thank everyone.
Thank you very much for this big participation, because we arrived to 36 people and somebody is entering and somebody is leaving. But it was wonderful to have all these people here to listen, and all you experts and representative of the organization. Thank you very much to Sandra. Thank you to all the Nikki and Sara and Andrea and Mirko and Cristiana and Gabriele and Albise and all the people that was here with us in this moment. Thank you very much. This will be shared with all the participants, and we will upload on the Facebook page and on YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and we stop the recording, and bye bye to everybody, and see you
Bye
soon.
bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We
Thank
thank
you
you
a
very
lot.
much. Have a good
Bye.
evening.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.